especially in some of those qualifiers last year.
Yeah, he really has got some pretty nuts numbers, and there's always like the one player on each team that jumps out. And I think what was difficult with 72C is they've actually kind of got two of them. They've got Foretsky and Brosto, who both look some like really talented players who, outside of Challenger as well, are also putting up some big numbers. And the other hand, on Cube, you've got Kamui. So I feel like those are the names you want to be looking out for today as we head into our first best of one. It's going to be Mirage, and already, oh my god, it's a fantastic start. It couldn't get any better.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that's already an example of the skill gap, perhaps, between these two teams, but that's some way to get us going. Paranormal trying to recover the situation, and Human is down, but the most important thing is that the bomb is lost, and they can't get anywhere near it right now.
I'd be very surprised if this round has any legs to it. Now both players for the Cube are spotted. Long range with the Glock. Never ideal.
Uh-oh.
Paranormal does collect one more kill towards shore, and this actually makes it slightly more uncomfy for 72C. You can see that their attention's split, but for the Cube, it's still like, you know, we need to hit some more shots here. There's really no other way around it. You've got 40 seconds left. Time's ticking down a little bit. There is a flashbang on Solo. He's not even going to be able to use it as he gets run down. And for Paranormal, it's going to have to be a 1 versus 3 ace, where both our two players we highlighted for 72C start off with all 5 kills combined.
Yeah, that is a great way to start off. Sometimes stats don't lie. Which is sometimes makes us look smart, sometimes makes us look silly. This time, maybe 0.5% smarter. Who knows? But yeah,
for me, that's pretty good.
Go to the next round with the MP9s and the 2 A1Ss. It will be a force spy from Cube. Interestingly, we've got that one hero AK available because, of course, Paranormal did get those kills, so he can actually drop one. Just make use of a deagle of his own and give Kamui something to fight with.
It's always interesting going for a force buy after the bomb has been planted. You're kind of relying on Kamui. He's the guy we were mentioning had kind of ridiculous stats with the Cube. He's going to have to pull out something out of the hat here, and ooh, so almost does everything in middle there, but as soon as he falls, you've now got Paranormal with no armor, and a 3 versus 3 where actually the Cube look like in a much better position. They ironically have the gun advantage because they've picked up both of the primary rifles that 72C were wielding, and they're gonna have the A bomb site for free. The issue is, as soon as this jungle smoke fades, Trav, all hell will be let loose on the Cube.
Yeah, I mean, 72C are here, but, like, you're actually right. They have a weapon advantage now, which is a bit strange. But the fact that they attempted in the open, it's a bit whiffy to get that kill with the MP9, but unfortunately they lost a second player in the meantime. So it's all down to Solo. Put the bomb down to try and play around it, of course, but he will get run down. MP9 gets the kill, M4's recovered, and all is good. But Plant is handy for the future.
Do we purchase into the next round? Seeing how they bought into a non-bomb plant second round, it almost makes me think that they get 3 kills, they get the bomb down. It almost makes me think that they actually will just purchase up into this. Like, I wouldn't hate it. And yeah, look at that. They're already on the Galils. But, Trav, talking about the maps, because we didn't really get a massive opportunity to. From my perspective, this veto massively favors 72C. We haven't seen Mirage being played by the Cube yet in ECL. For 72C, they have played Mirage once, they've won, and then go on to Ancient second map. That's actually the map they won against Rare Atom. And then alongside that, in other tournaments, the Cube, they've lost on Mirage and Ancient multiple times decisively. So these vetoes, to me, favor 72C. It's just, let's see what happens on the server, I guess.
Yeah, it should absolutely favour them. Of course, the problem here for Cube is that, sure, they can get their buyout with the Galils across the board, and actually they had okay utility with that buy, but they've already pretty much used it all to try and get mid-control. 2 smokes and a flash left, and kills keep rolling in for 72C. Nice taps from Barosto, that's why we like the look of him coming into this series, but they are recovering the round again, and the rotations are actually covered by Cursed here. He's going to hear them both going in through CT. And sure, while Solo is 2 HP, they have the info.
It all comes down to how long can Solo survive or get a kill, and well, he died straight away. So now, Curse, he's just left by himself, and yeah, unfortunately the Cube, even though I would actually consider, and as you mentioned, them probably to be an advantage in that situation. They take very solo fights, and they don't really play off each other. Maybe Curse should have taken contact, and then Solo could swing from triple, but instead, it's just the isolation from the city side. It's a round, but it's another close one, Trav.
Do you think they'll buy again? There we go.
I actually think they might.
I mean,
it's better purchase as well because they get more loss bonus.
That is absolutely right. I mean, it's not even that crazy. I've seen crazier things in ECL Asia Pacific. That's for sure.
I can imagine.
As you say, you are. This is your debut in this region, but you've done pretty much every single other region, haven't you?
I've done Asia before. I did Chinese qualifiers for the Rio Major in 2022.
That's a classic.
So that's all I've done. Apart from that, I've never really touched Asia, man.
It's a fun region, I've got to say. There are some mad things that happen. To be fair, actually, South America last season had a few ridiculous moments too that I'll remember from last year without a doubt. This is a lovely little creep from Barasto. Oh my goodness, Kirst did not see that coming. In fact, neither of them saw that coming at all. Oh, it was a beautiful little lurk around the smoke, and it recovers the man advantage with Kamui low HP.
I mean, Borosto had a bit of a blip last round of just, for some reason, forgetting there was a player in Connector, even though 72C had confirmation that there should be 2 players because they caught someone on the boost. But I guess he's made up for that now, as a round that, actually a disadvantage. They got the opening kill. Kirst took down Foretsky, but Borosto looks like he's stemming the bleeding. We could actually get a bomb down. I actually think we will get the bomb down. For 72 for the Cube here, but the issue is Solo's gonna get caught off in. Wait, is he gonna get caught off in middle? Ooh. Okay, that got scary. But issue is the bomb's taken a long time to get out of ramp here, Trav. If he had just gone straight out, little did they know they had the bomb site completely free for the taking. But because they take so long, the rotations come through. Bayek pushes through the connector smoke, so they just get trampled on.
Yeah, it's not just the fact they took a long time, it's also the fact that they ran out of utility at the very end as well, right? They can just play ahead of those few pieces they had left and just take control of the situation. Pretty comfortable in the end for 72C. Exactly how we expected this game would start, but there's a long way to go. QUBE have had really not that bad an opening to this series. They've had many opportunities, as we've said, many bomb plants, had a buy pretty much every round. This is going to be the first one where they're going to take a little bit of a back step, and even now, with what they have, it's going to be vaguely dangerous, you'd think.
These rounds are always dangerous to me, especially on Mirage. Tech 9s just running out of palace, apartments. Look, they can overrun. No AWP is actually a positive here for 72C. Having an AWP in these type of rounds can always get a little bit finicky, bit awkward. And yeah, I like this type of play from the Cube. Look, they didn't get the bomb down. They may as well just take a back seat and they're going to pop onto A. There's no one directly defend the bomb site, so you could imagine that the bomb is going to be able to get planted here. However, there's a nade for these smokes. Will the bomb actually get planted? Wow, what a shot from Foretsky. Yeah, that's really perfect utility usage. That's perfect individualism. But he does overstep the mark slightly. And look at Kamui. He's in the back line from Connector. Gets the first kill. Paranormal does get tagged a lot. And unfortunately, Kamui unable to get more than that first. And you've got Foretsky, who starts off the round fantastically and ends off the round even better.
Look at that. 8 and 3 for the 2 main men of minus 72C. Very solid stuff from them thus far. And again, I don't even dislike some of the ideas that the QUBE are putting forward in this game, right? I feel like they actually have some okay protocols. It's just, some of these force buys toward the end of the end round, mid round, and end round, it's just lacking in util. It's cut them off a couple of times. I think Foretsky was absolutely trying the short jump there,
that was awkward.
But messed it up he messed it up before he even started it, pretty much. But yeah, now we've got the AWP out on Kirst. He's out in mid, seeing if anyone pushes towards short. Nothing doing there for probably quite a while, but it's a proper full buy for the Cube. Let's see what they've got.
Well, unfortunately for them, as they're taking middle, our star man is already in T-spawn. He is going to be cleared though. Paranormal's making noise. This should be an easy kill. It's a little bit lumbered. And to be fair to Paranormal, he does expect Barozzo to be in T-spawn, or someone at least. Issue is now, you've got a man's advantage, you have no control, and what Barozzo's done really nicely here is, look, he's on 19 HP. If he sticks around here, there's a high chance he just gets traded, and all of that early information space is completely given away. But what he does, he just falls completely back. They play the bomb sites with the man advantage, and QUBE now are constantly cautious of someone being in the back lines, and it means they're probably just going to have to pop onto this B bomb site.
Yeah, they're going to give it a go. Inhuman's in a decent spot to probably get one, and that's actually a really nice bit of util. That forces him out a little bit faster, and it means that Solo gets caught by Spira. There'll be a couple more kills coming through, and that's a lovely shot to clear the bench play. Inhuman doesn't get anything done at all. What a wallbang. And suddenly it's down into a 2 versus 2. Cursed holding the tight line through the shelving in the market position. The most powerful angle he can possibly wish to have, and he will get that kill, but now it's down just to 4s. What can he do? Can he find that one remaining player on 23 HP? Looking for the hard clear van. Oh, he does a double take, but he still gets the kill. It's another whiff, I'm afraid, for the Cube when a round was there for the taking.
Anselmo is so unfortunate he has 1 HP. I think if it was 50 HP, Foretsky dies there. But just because the fact that he was so low, Foretsky had to land 1 bullet. And he just about gets it over the line. And commiserations to Curse there, right? He does absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Those were, excuse the pun, some inhumane shots. Like, that shot onto bench was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, like, obviously it's possible. I think we've all seen it if we've played Counter-Strike, but you don't see it regularly. And also in that element of there being, what, 15 seconds left when the execute came in, you actually lose the opening player. Kamui is able to get 1 before he falls on the lurk, but a very high pressure situation, he not only wallbangs the bench player, but then gets the second defender. That B bomb site does fall apart quite easily, but it's a massive retake that 72C keeping the lead flawlessly.
Yeah, pretty wild. They've come so close, haven't they, the Cube? It's been a bit of a shame for them. This could be a very different scoreline in this opening BO1. I think Inhuman just disconnected from the server. Wouldn't be surprised if he's going for a PC restart, just to fix a few things up. But yeah, I think as well, you look at this game, you see that there's potential there with some of the sort of plays they've had and some of the situations they've found themselves in. You also do see why they don't have a great record in the league standing so far this season. The only team they've beaten was the second game against God's Reign, 13-7. So, you know, while that may have been their last game, they're looking for 2 in a row. You can see where they could get their round wins from. It's just the end of the round, the late round stuff, which is just ever so slightly off when it comes to their individual level and some of the decision making. And unfortunately, when you're playing against a team that is just better than you, you can't afford to make those very, very slight errors.
Yeah, because I think you've hit the nail on the head there of a lot of these rounds have looked pretty good, to be honest. Like, it's always, I think, what, we're 7-0 up, are we not? And, no, 6-0 up. And have 5 of them come down? Oh, so apart from the pistol, and then, yeah, apart from the pistol, I think every single round has come down to somewhat of a contentious 2v2.
Yeah, it's really not been that bad. And I guess 72C will be thanking their lucky stars that they've been able to get out of some of these situations, because they've been a bit squeaky sometimes. And, you know, looking at it, if the QUBE players, if there weren't, what, 2 whiffs? That one in spawn, perhaps, that we saw with Barozzo getting that kill when he was pushed all the way through, and then that one in the end of the round there by Anselmo. Like, this probably should be like a 5-3 game, to be honest, rather than a 6-0. In a couple of rounds' time, we'll see if those scorelines even up. But it's going to be easy for 72C to keep going, you'd think, because they've still got a decent amount of money, despite the fact they've got so many close rounds coming through. And there's a big problem here because they're just not checking the corner of the balcony. But a good trade, very good trade. There's a very quick rotator coming in here, but it's a whiff from Solo on the Mac 10. He's trying to play movement to try and get more damage with the SMG. But here we go, Paranormal. That's a lovely second on Forzetsky. And now Bayek coming in towards short, 1v2. Got a kit, but nothing else.
Yeah, we've seen many a clutch. One in the previous round. Is this the time to get their first round on the board? Yes, it is. Wait, we're on the board, buddy. And Paranormal, he's had a very good start to this game. He in the pistol round itself, he almost got a 1v3 ace. But apart from that, I guess he's been a little bit quiet, so a massive 3-piece for him. And then when you're in those 2v1s, you've got Paranormal, who's already collected 3 kills, and then Kamui, who's the guy we were highlighting on the Cube as being probably the strongest individual, one of their newest additions. He's, you know, if you've got him in the 2v1 as well, it's in safe hands. And because a lot of these rounds have been pretty close, Trav, 72C are actually down to basically a low buy. We've got not even armor on 2 players. It's basically a full eco just around this AWP, and the AWP's already been flashed off the angle. That is a very high risk, high reward play for Forzetsky, and unfortunately, it's mostly just the risk part.
It's also risky, to be fair, for Cube to face them like they did, but they did use like pretty decent util to try and get themselves into that peak. So fair play to them. Right things are being done right now. Right decisions are being made. Human is not long for this world there. Getting run down. B site taken. That AWP is not going to be recovered. I think it's under the possession of the Cube right now. Too many players holding that position. You see Kamui's up there trying to keep that AWP on the ground, as you can see directly in front of him. It's a very small point, but it's a nice little detail. The Cube realised they don't want CT to try and nab that.
Yeah, that AWP is not being saved.
No. And you actually, you know, I mentioned before that previous round that they had okay money. It's because I glanced at Forzetsky's money, and that was the only player I glanced at. Actually, no one else did, and that's why he went for a hero AWP this round. Try and make something happen.
Personally, not a big fan of the hero AWP there. I feel like it was a little bit pointless, and I think we are, in that situation, just throwing away a good bank balance, especially for the AWPer. He can full eco this round and will have enough money for AWP, Kevlar, and a smoke. So at least he is going to get the AWP in the next gun round. But we've got quite a bit of heavy investment from the likes of Inhuman, Barozzo. So sure, like we have 2400 loss bonus, but they're only going to have M4 and Spires of Utility next round. It's all about if we can get some damage maybe with those weapons. Mac 10 was saved in the last, and the Mac 10's off to a flying start, but unfortunately that mid pop will only reward the CT side with 1 kill. Forzetsky does pick up one with the Deagle from underpass, and for the Cube it's just about making sure this anti-eco round doesn't get dangerous now.
I think they had so much aggression top mid there that I'm pretty sure Forzetsky was on the railing there looking into an underpass.
Yeah,
so
it was.
that second player to push up, gets the kill from there. Not actually an easy place to get that kill with the Deagle. 5-7 might be a little bit easier when you've got more spammability from that position, but the Deagle gets it. That's a nice little jump from there by Curse, and then he realises that Inhuman will most likely be running away,
Unlucky.
right? And actually catches the perfect timing. Does he catch this one as well? Great reaction. And he's really stepped up in the server for the Cube in the last couple of rounds.
I've heard you. Best case scenario for Barozzo right now would be to get into apartments, go to underpass and pick up the AK that's been dropped.
Can he get there?
I would assume so, to be honest. It's all about how maybe if Solo just jumps into under and covers that AK. But for Barozzo, if he saves the AK here, look, it doesn't seem like that big of a detail. But saving the AK and you've already got armor means you're going to have full utility in the next round, and it's just those small differences where he's also going to be able to save some economy. Those can add up in the grand scheme of things. Forzetsky is going to have the AWP out this coming round. So the QUBE, we've got 3 in a row. We're making Mirage a little bit more contestable. There was definitely a worry for a second, Trav, that this might just spiral into disaster. But to be fair to the QUBE, they just had those really awkward force buy rounds at the beginning where they just never got around. And if you keep on force buying, you look at the scoreline, it was 5-0 and it was the first gun round. And it's like, oh, well, that's almost half the half gone.
Listen, you're absolutely looking at it in a way that's accurate, right? But there actually is another way of looking at it, which is probably the way that people won't look at it because 72C are such the strong favourites. But the QUBE have now got 3 rounds on the board. With the way some of those rounds went earlier on, a whiff prevented a 1v1 victory, a whiff prevented a good advantage in one of the other rounds, and a number of 2v2s that were vaguely winnable. This could have been their half by quite a way if a few of those things go their way. So right now, it's they're really giving a good game for a really good game right now.
Yeah, scoreline can always be deceiving. Missed Molotov on the execute. No Molotov towards stairs. Oh, sorry, not stairs. Bench. Will that be abused? Doesn't seem like it will. Bayek got offered up a kill towards Ticket. How's Bayek just died there? He just got wallbanged, but then the response on the other side from Forzetsky, these AWPs are on fire right now. The bomb's not going to have to get planted. Forzetsky does confirm that he's not planting, but he gives up his life and a spam through the smoke. Trav, this round is pandemonium. I don't think anyone's even seen each other. They're just spamming through smokes and they're connecting. And just like that, 72C win it out.
Another one at the end there as well to get their 4 out of the 5 kills maybe there for 72C. Basically coming through blind through a smoke. Wild stuff. And yeah, there was at one point in that sort of 3 versus 2 for the QUBE, right? They had Curse, I think, on 1 HP and Paranormal on 2 HP. That was never going to last if all those bullets kept firing their way through. One more player caught. Triple player swung, but checked properly. Yeah, hard to keep track of those sort of rounds, that's for sure.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what happened with Curse. 'Cause he got a wall bang through Ticket with the AWP, and then I think nailed someone for a smoke con. And then Forzetsky also got like a kill above Ticket. There was 2 smoke kills from either side. I honestly think like 1 player was seen before we got into that 2 versus 2.
Well, Freddie, you're used to being a little bit of a coach these days, aren't you? Perhaps you're used to trying to gauge what goes down around the server, looking at only 1 POV at a time.
Those are sometimes those rounds you sit back and you're like, we're gonna have to take a closer look at that. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what's
Get it on the notepad.
Don't even know what's happened there from both sides. There's some things you can't prep for. Those are some of those rounds. Like, are you gonna get wall banged through Ticket by an AWP? 99% of the time, you're not. But okay, maybe if some normality resumes. We've got a boost over the top mid smoke into connector. I was scared for a second Spira was gonna get sniped, but luckily there was a smoke in con for safe passageway. And now with the top con smoke fading, this favors 72C massively with the setup they currently have in middle. Not even the setup that you would normally initiate with. Borosto's just decided he wants to peek top mid without the AWP taking first contact. And Cursed, he didn't seem like he had a single opportunity in that to react.
He's a bit of a gamer, isn't he, Borosto? And he even was bold enough to push a little bit further forward and shoulder pick up the molly on the ground as well. Just to add to the protection of his position. Selma working his way up through under, but again, man disadvantage. They've actually done a okay job in the entire half of the QUBE of recovering some of these situations. We think it's going to be an easy round where 72C can finally build up money. They haven't been able to build up money throughout the entirety of the half really at all. Spira has been spotted out. It's a chance to get entried here. They exchange dinks, but obviously AK trumps A1S. And now, actually, the slight anchors are in a little bit of trouble. Oh, dear, that's awkward. A bit of team damage. They're trying to go for the wall bang on the player, underbound.
no.
And there's so much time been wasted trying to clear out that player. They don't expect the rotation coming through from CT. And that was probably the messiest one yet, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those rounds they look back at and they're like, okay, we had a 4v4. There was a player under balcony, there's a player CT, and we don't get past stairs. That's a big issue from the QUBE. I mean, it's a great shutdown from 72C, and it looked like there was some also really sharp shots being hit, but ultimately that's a, you know, that shouldn't be happening. Like, you need to be getting out of the bomb site more there. You shouldn't be stopped so easily. And Fozetsky, timing shot in middle, he doesn't actually take it. Instead, he's gonna elect to nade this window smoke, and they're all out in the open. They're also flashbanged, but he's unsuccessful. Spira from short gets one, and also just dunks Kamui. A second one comes from connector. Owie indeed, shrapnel flying everywhere, and Spira also now has support. He's gonna get boosted up. Does he know? He knows the player's close. He knows about Anselmo. Does he realize that he's maybe gone into ladder? You have to assume, right? Issue is, in the meantime, we've got Paranormal entering out onto this B bomb site, so the A bomb site, and Anselmo goes overlooked. That seems like a massive misplay from Spira. He saw the guy close and then doesn't seemingly react to him being in ladder room, and all of a sudden, after a great opening from the CT side, is the QUBE looking like they want to get 4.5.
Inhuman has put himself in the only position that's actually possible for him to do any work right now, and it actually might work out for him. He gets himself that kill squad on Selma on short, and then gets into the get-right cubby, unbelievably. And he's wasted enough time for all the rotations to come through, and it's Barosto doing the work as we suspected. That's an amazing half from him. We'll see you in a minute.
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Here on overload, all my body is for you to hold.
we shaped the narratives going into this series as -72C, they were the favorites. And I also shaped it saying that the maps looked pretty decent for them. It actually looked very favorable. And to be honest, Trav, that has certainly been the case. This was quote-unquote 72C's map pick, as they had the final vote in this best of one. And you can see that they're very prepped on Mirage. They're individually just better than the Cube, it seems like. And now on the T side of this pistol round, it could just close out Mirage instantly.
Shot's going to need to be hit. And you do feel like when the underdog goes onto that CT side, it can be very, very difficult to keep yourself in the game, because on T side you can play a bit more setup based, you can play as a group. CT side sometimes it's more based on individual moments and really good teammate synergy. And as we can see with the pistol, 72C are just kind of barreling their way in. They've hit the Goosh and Anselmo. They've managed to take CT. They completely cleared out Ticket unceremoniously. 3 players swung that one. There was no chance for the Cube. And now 1 bullet needed anywhere, even on the pinky toe. And it's done.
Easy.
Is that probably like the most basic yet successful pistol round in the entire game? Take A, push CT. On T side,
Take A,
Mirage.
push jungle. Take B with a market smoke. I guess they're all kind of in the same realm, right?
I guess, yeah. I do feel like the most like basic,
Take A,
obvious
CT,
pistol. Yeah, take A, push CT is probably the most basic pistol round call, but also the most successful in like the entirety of the game almost. Rush B is a thing of the past. I'm kidding. Keep rushing. That hurts.
That hurts a lot. That's actually a full eco that have got the opening kill. But speaking about rushing A, they're on the A bomb site, and a Galil has been picked up, sure. But before the Galil can even remotely get into contact, everyone around him's fallen. This round's definitely about not losing any more players than have already been lost. 3 alive is at the bare minimum for -72C, but look, they are 11-3 up, so, well, they're about to be 11-3 up, so definitely very confident. But hey, when you're the favorites and maybe you're leading highly in a game and you start getting, let's say, complacent, those are when things get dangerous on occasion. So you don't want to be too wild with it.
Fine calls, though, from 72C, doing what they do best, continuing with their strengths. And Barosto continuing to put up those decent numbers. Thing is, though, like, kind of a conversation we've had a few times. There are a couple of really talented Eastern Russian players that have been in, like, this league for a number of years. I think one of them, I remember correctly, like, I'm not saying he's, like, one for the future or anything, but names I remember, one of them is a guy called Mediocrity. And he's been playing this league sort of around this area for a really, really long time. He's kind of got no other choice in World Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like for Barosto, he might be one of the most talented players from the first eye test that I've seen from Eastern Russia in a really long time. But, like, realistically, who's going to take a gamble on you? How are you going to prove yourself further? You're kind of screwed if you're from that place in the world, I'm afraid. It's kind of sucks, doesn't it? But you do what you do what you can do in this sort of situation, and right now he's doing everything.
It's the same for a lot of players. Like, I know there's some like I run into the odd Mongolian in Face It, and the Eastern Russians have their own servers on Face It, or like Russian servers, so you don't really counter that as much. But you know, when I'm Bartak, is that his name? He used to play for the Mongols.
He's Mzinho's older brother, pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I bumped into him and Mzinho recently, and they were on like 150 ping.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's the issue you have. But throughout all of that, by the way, we maybe just saw the end of this game, for Ozetsky ran through A in the previous round, got a double opener, and he's looking to do it again. He does do it again, mid-air. It's definitely interesting. This game has seemingly transcended into absolute carnage, Trav, as we're mollying ourselves, running through those mollos, getting jumping kills, but
Oh my God.
missing grenades. But
So many miss nades. I mean,
in the end, it's a 4v3, and they got knocked down.
the Cube tried to push a player aggressive apartments, and then that spooked the molly away from 72C. I mean, meant they had to run through it faster than perhaps they wanted to. But it's not going to matter. Forzetsky will close out the game 19-10, and Borosto there, I believe, was like 21-9 or something.
Yep.
Those are the two that we highlighted, and they both play extremely well in the opening of our two BO1s. The expected result has come through, but it does deserve to be said, Freddie, that the Cube